The time is in the 1990s. Your next door neighbor, Jimmy, just called to ask if you can come over. Your mom begrudgingly agrees. You excitedly jump on your skateboard, rollerblades, or whatever means of transportation was at the time. You hurriedly head over and sit down to play on the SNES, N64, PlayStation, computer, or Xbox, depending on what you had at the time. You grab the second controller and proceed to play some awesome games with your friend, like GoldenEye, Halo, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In what some would call the golden age of couch co-op, well, what happened to that? We would love to take a nostalgic look at the past, but we want to know what really happened to couch co-op. Was it most of us getting older? Internet improvements? Is couch co-op still a thing? Do we even need to do this video? Well, that's what Gamers Among Us is here to help with. We're here to help resolve those burning questions you may have. This is The Still Grizzly, bringing you a new take on old news. Hopefully along the way we all grow together and have a happy... wait. Sorry, wrong type of video. What I really mean is, let's look into this, like really look into it, and see what has happened, and maybe we can all move from this knowing what to look for in our future games. Let's start at the beginning. Not the beginning of time, but before internet was big. Before smartphones drew everyone into a lull as they moved like drones from one location to another, causing us to be more introverted, which I, for one, don't find anything wrong with being an introvert myself. Just moving into the past, we could go before the internet. Yep, before the internet. Whoa. Put down your pitchforks. I know it's a necessity nowadays, but things were different. It was a simpler time back then. Well, when is then, though? Let's look at the 80s and 90s, when we used to hang out at our friend's house playing Dungeons and Dragons, which turned a glaring eye from those parents who just assumed we were all running around in our underwear, yelling spells at each other in general descent into madness.
Boom. Ow! That didn't come from the troglodytes, no, that came from something else. The Demogorgon!
I remember just going over to their friend's house and enjoying turning on that SNES to hear that familiar sound as we started to play an old Contra game together, dodging and weaving as we died oh so many times. All joking aside, many of us, I would say 25 or older, may have these memories, coming to a friend's house, turning on the N64 for some Mario Kart, or PlayStation for some Twisted Metal. We joke about internet changing things and making people more introverted, but let's look at the first big reason why we see a decline in couch co-op. This leads me to my first point as to why couch co-op has gone down to the local dump. That is, the advent of internet.
The internet!
Most gaming devices like consoles are the last vestige of couch co-op, as PC was the first to move into the online play, either with friends online with MMOs like EverQuest, or multiplayers, which I will get more into in the next topic. Internet really came out with new things that, as your parents will tell you, I never had that before. Or, before our time, I never had that. Or I had to walk uphill both ways in the snow with newspaper shoes. Okay, right, Dad. Anyways, we see internet change the way games were played. Now, there were DLCs, ways to mod games, and so much more that we never thought could happen. This took us to a whole new world, away, sadly, from our couches. I mean, to be fair, we still sat on our couches, just less interaction with people face to face. Not that it was as bad, as I stated before, it was a new way to interact with others. It opened a whole new world of possibility. Instead of playing with your friend Jimmy next door, you played with Jim from Tokyo. Also in the mid to late 2000s, we see more internet-driven game services like the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, pushing people to stay on their specific device and play with those friends, which is another story altogether about console rivalries. What happened next, though, is what really pushed people away from couch co-op, and that is online multiplayers. Once internet started taking hold and the dot-com craze was subsiding, the gaming industry was just picking up steam. As local multiplayer was a huge deal, people would bring their devices over to play with friends to have those big LAN parties, or all meet together and hash it out over a game of Super Smash Bros. Even the intense battles of GoldenEye 007 made for a wonderful split-screen challenge. Though, with all things, new changes were on the way. Game developers saw how well these games did, and of course thought, what if we do this online? Yeah, Frank, that's a good idea. And next, kids will walk around with phones and capture imaginary creatures. All sarcasm aside, we can look back and see, yeah, that did work. Online multiplayer was a huge success, and so was the phone game we shall not name. While LAN parties still happen at big events like PAX or E3, those have tapered off to those online games that provide more comfort from home. Games like WoW let you play from home and make a unique character to also play with thousands of other people. Unfortunately, couch co-op will never be able to provide that opportunity to play with thousands of other people, or else you're going to have a pretty crammed house. As online multiplayers gain momentum, we can see more and more games remove that local co-op as an option. It's hard to compete with online matches having over 24 players in a single match, and games like Call of Duty 3 versus local co-op being 4 total in a single Mario Kart match. Games like Smash started to move away from local co-op, though still providing that as a feature, as it is still today with the Nintendo Switch, but moved more and more to an online community as the following grew more demanding. Sadly, like a swing on a pendulum, the couch co-op moved from the friends coming over to more friends staying at their own home and just hopping online in a match with each other, meaning less travel time, but more options to hang out, if less face-to-face. Our next topic is that there just started to be no longer a demand for couch co-op. Besides myself and several other people in their mid-30s who longed to jump on their couch and have a match play out together, it just wasn't feasible. The online options grew so quickly that it just made sense for me to play on my device with you, which isn't all bad. As, say, Jimmy ends up moving away, well, no need to fret, you can still get to play games with your best pal online. Couch co-op really only worked in situations where you had parties or friends over. So yes, another factor to that is age. As we grew up, it would be weird for little, well, not so little Jimmy to call up your mom and ask, "Hey, can Johnny come over to play?" I mean, your mom for one will wonder why they asked since you moved out 20 years ago and what? Did Jimmy snap? No, just, it would be weird for that to happen. It's not a situation we see. As we get older though, nostalgia is a big thing for us. Yes, the demand for these games has mainly died out, though it has moved, restructured, and been pushed more to that online multiplayer option. For example, those of us in the GAU, the original 3 as you may say, would never have founded our little community if it wasn't for online multiplayers. Sure, we hang out with each other and play games face to face, though it's tough if no one has that device or enough controllers are around. Plus, lugging a medium to full-size tower PC? Yeah, that's not a fun task. Unless you got muscles, and those muscles aren't gamer ready. Unless you played that one mobile game, Catching Imaginary Creatures. Wink wink. You know these guys did their leg days. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. The founding 3, as you may say, it formed up playing online games each night. We would chat and joke about things all in our own houses. This couldn't have been done if we tried to do a couch co-op situation. Yes, couch co-op is awesome. I mean, you get to hang out with those friends face to face. But online multiplayer still has great aspects that provide you with more opportunity to game with those you never thought possible. Unfortunately, this pushes couch co-op more and more into the background. Though really, it hasn't gone away, and yes, there is still a big couch co-op following, which brings me to our next point. Couch co-op isn't totally dead. Sure, it's been beaten, burned a little, broke a few nails, and it's struggling just to make it. But gosh darn it, it isn't dead. How do we know this? Well, there's several reasons why it isn't dead. One reason is that there are games out there specifically designed for party gaming. For example, earlier I mentioned that it was tough to do couch co-op with only 4 controllers. With the advent of smartphones, certain games like Knowledge is Power or Jack's Party Box allow you to use your smartphone to connect and play together. I know, it's pretty nifty, and if you haven't tried it out with your friends, you really totally need to. It's a pretty fun party icebreaker too, especially if there are drinks involved. The phone option allows more accessibility to what some may consider a dying breed. Hey, it may be hard to connect 4 controllers, but not really 100 phones. Yeah, that's right. Jackbox has a few games with up to 100 player options. Try squeezing that many people in your house or apartment. Oh, you have that many friends? Well, I guess I'll go cry in a corner now. You know, no reason. No, don't worry about me. Yeah. Anyways, along with the advent of smartphones, there are consoles out there where they're more resilient and won't let that couch co-op die. In fact, this console may be one of the main reasons couch co-op hasn't died, or hasn't crashed and burned yet, and that is the Nintendo Switch. Yep, gotta give it to those guys. They sure know how to connect with people. The Switch even offers the Joy-Con, which is controllers that you can split into 2 and have a game together with your friend, playing split screen on, say, Mario Kart or another type of game like that, which for some was a major reason why they couldn't do couch co-op. Now, that excuse is no longer valid. Well, as long as you have a Switch. Games like Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart still offer online options, but really it also offers that enjoyable experience where you can ridicule your friend as they try to figure out how to drive while you crush them again on Rainbow Road. Another great advancement is virtual reality. Though not mentioned much on this video, there are games that even now provide you with options to play with your friends and still see that co-op challenge. Like Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, a game that tasks you to defuse a bomb while your friend yells commands at you from what they see on the manual. A great game just for the VR aspect, plus it always is fun to get yelled at. Wait, no, that's not right. Oh, it isn't. Okay, well maybe let's just take that with a grain of salt. Overall though, I think yes, modern advances have cut out some awesome gameplay mechanics we may not see much of in the future, but also has paved the ways to give new options on how to play with friends. One great game that recently came out was Cuphead, which allows you to play with a friend on local co-op, as you both dodge and weave, sharing the frustration over such a difficult game. Games like People move on. Sadly, we must do that too, but not so sadly, couch co-op has come with us, albeit in a more evolved way. Not the same as we would assume, but in ways that will challenge us to change along with it. Couch co-op is a huge nostalgia booster for us, but it isn't dead. It's there, just in ways we never thought. And hopefully we can use that to all grow together. Thank you all for tuning in to our couch co-op video. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Comment below if you'd like to see more evaluations on gaming features, maybe what games you would like us to look into, or just what you miss about couch co-op. Also, if you'd like to help the channel out, make sure to click subscribe, then leave that bell icon on. That way you don't miss out on any gaming news, podcast, game reviews, or any new videos we push out. I would also like to point out we now have a website that you can reach by going to gamersamongus.com. There you can see all our articles and links to videos we have put out. We are still working on the site, but hope it will be something we can all enjoy. You can visit there or choose to visit our Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, or Twitch if you'd like to reach us outside of YouTube. This is the Steel Grizzly signing off and hoping you have good luck with all your future games.